Hi everyone, this is Swapnil again. I wanted to come and talk about what's the craziness that's happening in the stock market the last few days, I would say. A lot of you might be following, a lot of you might have heard, what's going on with names like GameStop or AMC or Nokia. I wanted to come and explain in very simple language to the people who don't understand what's exactly going on. How can a stock like GameStop go from $20 to 300 or 400, whatever it is today, and what people refer to as short squeeze. So what it means is when you buy a stock, that means you're buying a company stock, just like you buy anything else. But in the financial institution, financial world, there's another thing that what you do is you can short a stock. What does the shorting a stock mean? Shorting a stock means where you borrow, let's say a stock is $10 worth. You go to your broker and you say, I want to borrow $10 and I'm going to short this stock. They'll let you borrow that. And let's say the stock comes down to $7. So what that means is now you can cover your short by buying the stock at $7 and you've already sold it at 10, which means you net out $3 of profit. But let's say on the flip side, let's say if the stock goes to 15. So that what happens is you already sold the stock at 10, but now you have to cover your stock by paying $15, which means you have a loss of $5. But what happens in this scenario is you have infinite amount of loss you can incur because the stock can go to 15, 20, 25,000, 2,000. That means you're going to be losing infinite amount of dollars. So this is exactly what happened with GameStop last week, where a major hedge fund was managing $13.1 billion heavily shorted GameStop. And one of the users of Reddit, which is a popular site now where people are referring to Reddit users, one of the members of the Reddit discovered that huge short position of that hedge fund, and he was able to convince everybody on the public forum on Reddit to go buy that stock. So what happens is instead of stock price declining, the stock kept going up and going up. And then it went up to such an extent that the hedge fund had to cover a 13.1 billion worth of stock, which means they got wiped out because of this short squeeze. So this term is called short squeeze when you run up the stock that much that the person who has shorted the stock gets squeezed out. That's exactly what's happening in a lot of these other stocks, where now a lot of the Reddit users are basically discovering which other companies have huge short interest so that we can go out and short them. So now something interesting happened today where, which is one of the biggest trading website, which is Robinhood, stopped trading or restricted trading, disallowing people to buy stocks of these specific companies. Now, this is so un-American in nature. This is basically killing of capitalism. You are basically disallowing retail investors to preventing them to buy a certain stock while everybody else has the option. So the dynamic is changing as I speak today, because we are basically moving ahead from the masses, the financial institutions, the hedge funds that have dominated the financial world for so long. And all of a sudden you have this new wave of retail investors that are basically standing up to these big financial institutions and hedge funds, say, look, you can't discount us. And then if the financial institutions are saying, well, you are not sophisticated or smart enough to make the right decision, who is them? They've got the last few trades right. They got Tesla trade right. Tesla is what company it is today. The financial institution never valued that stock on the same basis, which is being valued by the retail investors. So who is to say retail investors are wrong? And now you're prohibiting these retail investors from going out and buying these stocks. I think that's the end of capitalism. That should not happen. It is very un-American. But with that being said, it's a very dynamic world. It's an ever-changing world. And hopefully I'll come back to you next week and see. It's fascinating to see how it progresses from here on. Thank you till next time.